What's up, friends? Welcome to Mom's Dinner. My name is Susie Weinrich. Here we're helping you feel successful at dinner time. Today I'm going to share with you how to make such a simple Alfredo sauce. Alfredo does not need to be complicated to be absolutely delicious. You only need 4 ingredients, and here's what they are. You need a little heavy whipping cream, some butter, garlic, and some good Parmesan cheese. That's it. So you can use this over pasta, fettuccine Alfredo, anyone? Grilled chicken. Thicken it up a little bit more. It can be used as a pizza sauce. You could use it in a white lasagna, whatever your heart's desire. So stick around today. I'm gonna share with you how to make a 4-ingredient Alfredo sauce. This little handy tool is great for making any kind of sauce like this. It's a flat whisk, and I will link this down in the description box, or if you're on the full post, this little tool should be linked somewhere in the post for you. We're gonna start with 5 tablespoons of salted butter. Salted butter is the only butter we recognize here at Mom's Dinner. I think it's the only one with flavor. Unsalted butter is basically, you might as well just use oil. You want to actually cube this, or not cube it, you can kind of just cut it into tablespoon portions. And that is going to help the butter melt a little bit faster in your saucepan so that it doesn't burn or brown before it melts. And just over low heat, you want to melt this butter up. While that's melting, we're going to go ahead and mince up 2 raw garlic cloves. I may do 2.5 just because that second one does seem kind of small. Now, sometimes when I am mincing garlic, I'll add a little bit of kosher salt over the garlic so that it doesn't stick to your knife. However, with this Alfredo recipe, between the salted butter and then also the salty Parmesan, I recommend that you don't add any salt until you taste the Alfredo at the end. A lot of times, depending on how salty your Parmesan is, you won't need any salt. Our butter is just about melted, so we're gonna add in the garlic, and then we're gonna let that warm through for about 2 minutes. You don't really want to like soften it necessarily. You definitely don't want your garlic to be browned. You're basically just flavoring the butter and warming up that garlic. That's looking really good. Now what we're gonna do is add in 1.5 cups of heavy cream. This is not a low-calorie dish, so don't be telling me there's too many calories. Now you do want to bring this to a light simmer, so I'm going to increase the heat to about medium-low, and we want to bring this to a light simmer for about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. And you want to whisk often. We're going to add some Parmesan to this, and that is going to be the key flavor in your Alfredo. You want about 3/4 cup of Parmesan, and in a lot of my recipes on momsdinner.com, when I call for Parmesan, I'm saying coarsely ground Parmesan. It's gonna look like really fine gravel. What I do is purchase a wedge of Parmesan, cut it into pieces, and then pulse it in a blender. And you get this nice coarse ground. It melts perfectly in Alfredo, and when you use it in meatballs, it gives you a little pocket of Parmesan throughout your meatballs, which is absolutely delicious. My other tip with the Parmesan is to add half. We're gonna whisk it in, and then we're gonna add the other half. And this is twofold. First of all, you're gonna make sure that all the Parmesan gets melted into your Alfredo. Second of all, you're not just dumping it all in and then it's gonna melt into one big clump. This way you're really incorporating the Parmesan into the Alfredo sauce. You're gonna continue to whisk, whisk, whisk until the Parmesan is melted and it's fully incorporated. Then we're gonna add the other half. It's already smelling so incredible. All right, now we're gonna add the remaining Parmesan. Now, if you were gonna add in pasta, like fresh cooked pasta, I would go ahead and add it right before you add the second helping of Parmesan, and then you can toss it vigorously. But since we're just doing Alfredo, we're gonna add that in, whisk it until it's fully incorporated and melted. All right, I'm gonna let this simmer and thicken just for a minute or two, and then we'll pull it off the heat. Oh my gosh. Ooh, y'all. That smells so good. It smells like garlic and Parmesan and butter, which is exactly what it is. It is perfectly thick. It's not overly thick so that it's, you know, ending up kind of gummy. It's perfectly thick. Now, if you're gonna use this as a pizza sauce, I would definitely recommend putting in a little more Parmesan to thicken it up a little bit more, but it is perfect for lasagna, fettuccine Alfredo, over grilled chicken. So, so good. Oh man. Just like I said in the beginning, this does not need salt. The Parmesan that I use is pretty strong and it does not need salt, but at this point, taste it, see if it needs salt, see if it needs pepper, add that, and then use it in your dinner. Whew, so incredible. So I really hope that you make this super simple 4-ingredient Alfredo sauce in your kitchen and it helps you feel like a success. You can join me next week. I'm gonna have another bite of this for another recipe video, something you can make in your kitchen. Until then, have a wonderful week ahead. See ya.